gravity. When you stick your finger in. I'm not going to stick my finger in there. Dumbbell. So you don't know how electricity works. You just know it hurts. Ouch! For you youngsters, so we can get tuned in and ready to go for the talk in just a couple of minutes, let me ask you a couple of questions. Who knows the difference between being wise and knowing lots of stuff? Yeah, what's the difference, Arabella?
You know what to do and when to do it.
Oh, okay.
Knowing lots of stuff means that you just basically know.
You know what? That is perfect. I absolutely cannot add to that. So if you didn't hear her, she said, wise is being know what to do and when to do it, and knowing lots of stuff is just having a bunch of information. Really, that's it. Yeah, we can say amen and go on to the next thing, I think. But you did a really good job, Arabella. That's perfect. Being wise is being able to put into practice what you know. So they go hand in hand, but they're not the same thing. For instance, is it smart to stick your fingers into an electric plug? No, of course not. Do you need to know how electricity works in order to not put your finger in the plug? You don't, do you? You just know it hurts, right? That's wisdom without knowledge. So you don't know how electricity works. You just know it hurts when you stick your finger in. So wisdom says, I'm not going to stick my finger in there. If I throw, you see this great big dumbbell? If I throw this dumbbell up in the air, what's going to happen? Come down again, right? That's called gravity. And we learn about gravity early on in life, don't we? We learn that if I trip, I don't just go floating off into the air. What happens? I go smack on the ground, right? That's called, yeah, exactly, like you several times, I think. Well, the fact that we know how gravity works, we know then, let me ask you this, is it smart to jump off of a great big tall building and not expect to get hurt? No, of course not. That's knowledge without wisdom if you go ahead and jump off the building, isn't it? Or if I was to throw this up in the air and just stand there and watch it, that would be knowledge without wisdom. So, I have a friend. Let's call her Elaine. And she is super allergic to cats. I have cats. I know. And I have also learned that most people's allergies, like Elaine's, is not to their fur, but it's to something called dander. Now, dander is microscopic skin cells, that cats shed, and it gets stuck in their fur. And people are allergic to the little skin cells. So you can't even hardly see them, except under a microscope. That's how tiny they are. But they make people sneeze, they make their eyes water, they make them turn red and blotchy, make them itch all over. Even these little tiny things. Now, I have learned about that. So here's where wisdom kicks in. If I'm going to see Elaine, and I've been coaxing my cat, I've learned that I need to wash my hands before I go and see Elaine, because those little teeny tiny microscopic things called dander are still on my hand. And if I go and see her, all of a sudden, she starts sneezing, her eyes start watering. So wisdom and knowledge put together, I've learned why she starts sneezing when I come around, and the wisdom says, I'll wash my hands after I touch my cats. That's wisdom and knowledge working together. So the next time that you are tempted to make a choice in life, pause for a minute and think about what you know about the situation, knowledge, and see if you need to put some wisdom into practice before making your choice. Now that sounds like a great life lesson, doesn't it? Simple fact is that's exactly what Solomon is going to talk about today. He's going to talk about wisdom and foolishness. In other words, he's going to talk about what it means to be wise and what it means to not have wisdom. He's not going to be talking about putting facts into your head and giving you more knowledge. He's going to talk about how to use the knowledge you've already got. So pay close attention, listen up. Even while you're doing your books, you can go and get those now.